Wales, a land of rugged mountains, majestic castles and stunning lakes. A land of myths and legends. A land of power and raw natural beauty. But the place names? They're not always the easiest to say. In today's video, we're going to take you through some of the most commonly mispronounced place names in North Wales. If you don't know us, I'm Rachel, he's Wills, and we are Postcard and a Pint. Always open to a cheeky like, subscribe and share of a video. A comment, as we do love to chat. And if you think we're well ace, well, we also now have a Patreon. So buckle up, fill your mouth with a litre of spit, and let's get on to some most commonly mispronounced place names in North Wales. Let's start off in the Llyn Peninsula, the sticky out bit, or arm on the western side of North Wales. It's a beautiful area, full of stunning beaches and quaint villages. It has a beachside pub, where dogs eat carrots, we eat nachos, and cats on cushions are firmly in charge.
But how do you pronounce this?
When it comes to the Welsh alphabet, the Welsh are, well, Welsh. Not content with single letters in the alphabet, the Welsh like to stick two letters together, give them a sound, and call that a letter.
Like double L, for example. L on its own is L, like in the English. Throw another one in the mix and you've got...
What?
Here is our comprehensive guide on how to get that sound. Put your teeth together and smile. Down. Now put your tongue behind your teeth. Then hiss like a dragon. Down, hogging. Or well done, lad.
A common mispronunciation of this name is Llyn Peninsula.
We don't know who Lynn is, but it's definitely not hers.
Or Llyn Peninsula.
To be fair, cl is most people's attempt at but follow our instructions and you'll be spitting with the best of them. As Edmund Blackadder once said,
"Never ask for directions in Wales, Baldric. You'll be washing spit out of your hair for a fortnight."
So that's the Llyn Peninsula. Stunning to visit, spitty to say. Next it's Llandudno, a seaside town in North Wales with a beautiful Victorian seafront, a gorgeous promenade, and the third longest pier in Wales, don't you know? You've also got the Great Orme with its stunning views and an old Victorian tram and colourful cable car to get you up there. You can even toboggan year-round here if you feel so inclined. But just how do you pronounce this place name?
The most common mispronunciations are
Llandudno
or
Llandudno.
To make the sound, see the last chapter. And it might be spelt Dudno, but believe us, Llandudno is no dud. It's definitely a did.
For example, it did a really cool Victorian fair last year. We saw some amazing steam road vehicles, rode a vintage Ferris wheel and enjoyed a traditional Punch and Judy.
So remember, it's not dud, it's slan, did no. So there you are.
Whilst we're on the subject of the double L thing, we've got to mention Llangollen. It's a pretty town, boasts a stunning castle, a beautiful abbey and a historic house, Plas Newydd. It's also pretentious enough to throw in the double L twice. Now this'll test you.
The most common mispronunciations of this one are
Llangollen.
usually by the Scousers. Sorry Scousers. And
Llangollen.
by everyone else. But now you've perfected your dragon's hiss in chapter 1, we feel you're ready for this one.
Llangollen.
With its beautiful castle proudly looking out over the town and the surrounding countryside.
Llangollen.
With its gorgeous abbey, valley crucis and canal-side walks. And
Llangollen.
where at the end of said walk, you'll find a cheeky pint. Cheers! So now you've got your double L sorted, you can attempt place names like...
Llanfair Pwllgwyngyll Gogerch Windrobl Pontcysllte Go Go Go.
But that would just be showing off. Next! We had to throw this one in. Harden.
We know. Sounds a bit like...
Wills, no.
Harden in Welsh is Penalag, but in this case it's the English version that's more fun and more mispronounced.
Harden is most commonly mispronounced as Hawarden, which sounds really posh, but is wrong. Harden is quite literally the butt or front butt of many panto jokes every year.
But what can you find in Harden?
It has a castle.
Where in Wales doesn't?
I know, but this one's different.
The ruins of the medieval castle are here, but the new Harden Castle is actually a house. It was the former home of British Prime Minister William Gladstone.
There's the Gladstone Library.
Which is Britain's finest residential library, and the only prime ministerial library.
There's even a House of Correction.
Where they put the naughty people in the 18th century before their trial or incarceration at Flint Jail.
So that's Harden, not Hawarden. Always go with the rude version. Moving on.
Next, it's Betws y Coed, which means prayer house in the woods. It's a popular place with tourists, as it's a great place to use as a base for walking and exploring Snowdonia. It has some lovely shops and cafes, and the River Conway running through the centre is so picturesque, but people don't half butcher its name.
They really do.
For example,
Betws y Coed.
Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a lass at a mixed-sex secondary school. Betws y Coed. Sorry. Another corker is...
Betws y Coed.
which just sounds like someone disputing what's for their tea.
it's pronounced Betws y Coed. Betws from English, bedhus, a prayer house, and coed, Welsh for wood.
So Betsy and Bet can keep their school and their fish, and we'll just all say it correctly. Betws y Coed.
Next, we're off to Harlech. This is a beautiful town perched high up on a rock overlooking the sea on one side and Snowdonia on the other. The most striking feature here is the magnificent castle built in 1282, one of Edward I's iron ring of castles in North Wales. But thanks to the Welsh and their love of a double letter, this one gets mispronounced too.
You'll hear it pronounced Harlech, rhymes with Dalek. And when Welsh people hear you say it like that, they just want to exterminate.
Once again, in the Welsh alphabet, you get to the letter C, and then the Welsh deviate from the norm. The letter D just doesn't cut it for the Welsh as the fourth letter of the alphabet. Oh no, the Welsh decided that a C and a H stuck together was a much more viable option. And of course, it makes a sound. Here is our tutorial.
Imagine a fly has flown unwittingly into your mouth and is now stuck on the back of your throat. Basically, try to remove said fly with this sound. Thank you, Wills. And that's the Welsh CH, or
So now you can attach that to the end of this wonderful place, and you can now visit Harlech Castle, Harlech Town, or Harlech Beach without a Dalek in sight. Happy days. Next off, it's not so much of a place name, more of a bridge name. It's the Pontcysllte Aqueduct. Did you know it's the longest aqueduct in Great Britain and the highest canal aqueduct in the world? Pretty impressive. But how on earth do you get your tongue around so many consonants in one word?
I could never pronounce this one as a child. I used to call it Pontcysllte.
And I called it Pontcysllte.
The local pub has obviously gotten so sick of people butchering the name of this magnificent bridge that they've put up an idiot's guide on the wall. So here it is in all its glory. Pont, K, Sush, double L, you know that one, T. Pontcysllte. It's easy when you know how. But what does it mean? Well, it means the bridge that connects. Here's my theory on its naming.
Mr. Thomas Telford has just finished his massive bridge and he's as happy as a dog with two dicks. When Jones the shop, a local, turns to him and says, "So what's it called then?" Mr. Telford ponders and then proclaims,
The bridge that connects.
The locals waited for him to naff off back to England before deciding the name to be a bit crap. So they translated it into Welsh to give it a bit more of an exotic feel and a heck of a lot more consonants. So Pontcysllte it was.
Next, we're off to Beddgelert, a beautiful, picturesque village in the heart of Snowdonia. It's only small but perfectly formed. It has gorgeous shops, a quaint church, and a cafe that does lovely chips. What more could you ask for? We've had many a gorgeous day in Beddgelert, but since we started this channel, every time we step into Beddgelert, it chucks it down. Even though it's small, it's really famous, all because of a dead dog. Yep, you heard me correctly. A gallant hound was wrongfully accused of a bad deed and killed by his master. What a tool. Anyway, now this village is named after that story, but surely you'd think it's not that difficult to pronounce. You think wrong. We've heard Beddgelert, Beddgelert, and Beddgelert, whoever she is. It all comes down to that pesky double letter once again. We left you at CH, and the Welsh then deemed D to be an acceptable letter to go next in the alphabet. But to follow that with an E, not the Welsh, why have one D when you can have two? So that's what comes next, and of course it has a sound. It's a bit like the English TH pronunciation. You know, a snake with a lisp sort of thing. Here is our guide to the Welsh version.
Start with the English TH. Very good. Next, put your tongue between your teeth and give it another go. That's the chap. Now put that in your place name.
Beddh, meaning grave, and Gelert being the name of the dog. And there it is, Gelert's grave, Beddgelert. It's a beautiful story and definitely worth checking out. And amazingly, we have a vlog all about it, so do check that out. We'll link it below. Beddgelert, a picturesque Welsh village with a sad story. Well worth a visit. just check the weather forecast first. Last on our list is Llangollen Island, a stunning and very Instagrammable little island just off Newborough Beach on Anglesey. It's a tidal island, so it does get cut off from the mainland at times. On the island are lighthouses, a Celtic cross, a lover's church, quaint cottages and private coves galore. It's beautiful, but its name?
We've heard this called Llanddwyn, Llanwyn, or the safest bet of all, the island off the edge of Newborough Beach.
But you're ready for this now? You can double L with the best of them, and you now know that double D is more than just a bra size. Let's give this a go.
Llanddwyn.
The island of lovers,
Llanddwyn.
where you can't take a bad photo, even if you try.
Llanddwyn.
Where you really should check the tide times before embarking across to have a picnic. Yes, the walk out was up to our knees, the walk back was touching my Mary, enough said. But it was a beautiful picnic on a stunning island.
So here endeth our lesson on mispronounced place names in North Wales.
You should now know your from your and your
Betws
from your.
Betsy.
We hope you enjoyed this fun look at some of the most mispronounced names in North Wales. If you've liked this video, we'd be really grateful if you'd subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. And also, watch some of our other content. We do get about. So here endeth today's Welsh lesson, and we now pronounce you fluent. We've been Postcard and a Pint, and we'll leave you with a joke from the King of Comedy. Surprisingly, it's not me, it's Will's. It makes him feel better. Cheers!
I once went out with a Welsh girl. She had 36 double Ds.
Did you?
Yeah, it was dead hard to say her name.